All right, welcome back. Welcome back. We are in week 8 of the NFL. Looking at our weekly Pickems here at the Hambone Show. Matt, Troy, and Jordan here with you. Thanks for tuning in. How's it going, guys?
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Awesome week 7, and excited for Lions to get a bye, and looking forward to some nice games next week as well.
yeah, it'll be nice to have a bye. No stress, just watch the games, not worry about the Lions. So, kind of looking, and it comes at a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pistons, they're playing right now, aren't they?
They are. Let's see, live score. They're down 16.
Oof.
Uh-oh. Who did they play? First
The
game?
Bulls.
Ooh. Well.
First game jitters.
Yeah. Well, so we can improve. You got to start somewhere.
There's a lot of time left. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I have some notes from Zach here. His takeaways from week 7, recapping last week. Not too crazy of a week outside of a few. I think there's just a couple upsets here, maybe like 2 or 3. I think we said. He says his takeaway is that there's a large middle class of teams that he just doesn't know if he can trust in any way. With a blink test, is this team good? Can they be a wild card or better team? He's got the Vikings at 3-3. Their best win is Bears week 1, but they're starting Wentz. They got a plus 20 point differential on the season. It's not too bad. Bears 4-2. Best win against the Cowboys. Won 2 games in a row by 1 point, and they're minus 3 point differential. So that's kind of interesting there. You got the Cowboys 3-1. The best game is the Packers tie. Commanders at 3-4. Best win at Chargers. Panthers 4-3. Best win at the Falcons. And then he's got in parentheses, is that a flex question mark? They got a 3-game win streak, but Young is out, questionable. We don't know yet. Falcons 3-3. Their best wins that Bills game. Are they the trick-or-treat team of the season, he wonders. Steelers 4-2, just lost at home to Joe Flacco. Bengals 3-4, their best win is the Steelers game. Incredible offense when someone named Joe plays quarterback. Jags 4-3, their best wins, of course, the Chiefs, but they're negative 9 point differential on the season. Texans are 2-4. They got an excellent defense, and is this true? It says they're plus 39 point differential on the season. That seems insane.
Really? I feel like they haven't scored any points.
I know, but I think they hold some teams when they win to just such low points. Maybe we'll fact check that one. Chargers 4-3, best win against the Chiefs. Not sure if they can block anymore. Minus 12 point differential. Giants 2-5, 2 wins. Are Chargers and Eagles. They have an elite pass rush, and they're 2 plays away from being 4-3. Pretty true there. And then he just mentioned that we're gonna have to start picking a bunch of these teams as our locks in the second half of the season. Get ready for some chaos.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is an interesting time that we're in. I mean, we're getting close to halfway through the season in a couple weeks, and the big takeaway for me is the NFC is stronger than it's been in years. And I'm just kind of looking through the standings here. The NFC, just a couple teams where you feel like, there's probably not much there. You have New Orleans, the Giants, and Arizona. And you could argue all 3 of those teams, are playing decent football at times, kind of on a roller coaster a little bit. But those are the bottom 3. Everyone else in the NFC, I feel like still has a shot at the playoffs, crazy enough. And then you look at the AFC. So you have the Jets, obviously, Tennessee, Miami, Baltimore, who knows what they are, Cleveland, Vegas, and Houston, even Cincinnati. It's like those teams, you don't expect much out of them for the rest of the year. Maybe a team or 2 in there, Houston maybe Baltimore makes a run and comes back. when Lamar's back, but I just feel like the parity there between the AFC and the NFC is just crazy. So that's just been my big takeaway of the last, few weeks.
Yeah, those are. I think that's why it's been so hard to pick the games. Like it seems like every single week we're just trying to like I'm always thinking of who's at home, what's the time zone, because it's so hard to pick these teams because like you've said, they're all like in the middle. And it's interesting, Zach was bringing up the point differential. I was just kind of looking at some of these and like there's some crazy ones. Like the Titans are minus 96, which kind of makes sense. Um, the NFC South, every single team has a negative point differential.
Whoa.
And then in the West, the Cardinals have lost 5 straight games, but they only have a -1 point differential. So it's like there's just some wild scores happening each week in terms of tight games.
That's crazy. Yeah. It makes sense though with all these last second field goals and touchdowns and Broncos scoring 33 in the fourth quarter and the Giants even scored then too. Like it's just zero defense was played and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's wild that can happen.
Yeah, it is crazy. Before I forget too, Uni of the Week last week, shout them out right here. Black uniforms for Detroit. They look great as ever in those. So just wanted to point that out. On the other end, I don't know what I want to call this, but not Uni of the Week. The Chargers, those banana uniforms, not the best look, but I will give them props. They're like the Oregon of the NFL. You got to have one of those teams to kind of do that every few weeks with all these crazy combinations. So I still enjoy having them do crazy stuff every week, even if they are a little bit, not easy on the eyes. So just wanted to point those out from last week.
Yeah, I'm with you. Definitely love the Lions black with that blue, sweet blue helmet. But those banana uniforms or whatever they called them, I was like, I like there's potential. I love the Chargers color schemes. Like they could do so much with it. That didn't hit.
Agreed.
It did make me kind of miss the color rush a little bit. Like I did. It wasn't great. I feel like a lot of the color rush, but like I don't know. I like that it was different like that.
Yeah,
It kind of
100%.
reminded me of those
Yeah.
few years. All right, Detroit, big win. How we feeling? Let's tell me a little bit. Like, what were you feeling right before and then after?
For me, before, I mean, I kind of went into it thinking first team to 50, and I was just expecting a shootout, especially the Lions. I can't remember. Did they got it first, right? And they went down and scored, or did they stop the?
St.
Yeah, they got it
Brown.
first. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was like, okay, here we go. And then when their defense got a stop, it was like, okay, there's the one stop we're gonna get all game. Now we just keep going. And then they obviously went for it on fourth down instead of kicking the field goal. And then it kind of turned into a defensive game. But I mean, props to that secondary. All those guys just essentially playing for their NFL careers. I was kind of thinking after, I'm like, man, we have some really good depth, but are any of these guys going to get poached? Because once we get healthy, a lot of these guys fall back to the practice squad. And then you just think whenever a team, needs any help, they're going to instantly look at these guys because like every single one of them played great.
Gosh, they were making plays. They weren't just surviving. They were Whiteside,
Yeah.
Saginaw Valley, up the road,
Yeah.
little shout out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool
Yeah.
to see too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was great. I mean, the name of the game was survive and get a win, and they did that. They did the job, and there was some questionable calls I think that the media was talking about, but in my opinion, I think they got all of them right. Like obviously, I'm biased, hand up right there, but the big fourth down where he was inches short. I thought that was a great angle. I thought he looked short. The announcers did too. So yeah, they had a second look, however you want to, talk about that. But I think they got it right at the end of the day. The pick that was overturned as well when they both kind of had the ball coming down. I could not believe that they overturned it. Again, I think it's the right
Yeah.
call, but you just never see that in the NFL where, looks like both guys come down with it. It's called one thing on the field and then it's reversed when it's so close like that. Um, Again, I think it's all good calls, and that's just kind of how it comes down at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, they were also the better team. They made more plays. It wasn't necessarily close. We won by 2 possessions. So I don't think you can dive too much into that and complain if you're the Buccaneers. But a lot of respect to the Bucs and Baker for who they are as well.
Yeah, I was nervous right before with Baker's been on fire, the MVP talks, and I love Tampa. I love their story, even though they're in our conference. I find myself rooting for them a lot, and um, I just was very surprised. Like, Shep must have had a master game plan, or just like the presence of Aleem and Hutch, and they were knocking the balls down at the line, like they were causing his overthrows. I really think he's a little bit smaller quarterback compared to like a Herbert or something, right? But like getting your hand up, blocking those passes, getting in his passing lane. They had the linebackers kind of doing that like half spy, half like just kind of blocking that lane on him, and that was really affecting his throws. He was definitely off, which I was surprised because he's been playing so well. So, yeah, definitely tip of the cap to old Kelvin Shepherd there. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Cool to
Yeah.
for
see.
sure.
How worried are we that we're gonna lose him? He seems like a superstar that's gonna get taken right away.
I know he's so likable too. Like the media is just in love with him right now after that, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he'll start to become a hotter name, but I'll be surprised, if he does get a head coaching job after this year or even over the next 2 years. I think he's so young that I think he might want more time, kind of like Ben Johnson did under Dan Campbell, learning how to, have more responsibility, not just calling plays and calling defenses. So, yeah, hopefully he sticks around for a long time. I think he's a great fit.
Yeah.
I know. I wonder if there's ever a coordinator that's just like, no, I'm good. Like, I'll just be a coordinator. I don't want that pressure of the head coach. I'm really good at this. I wonder if that's ever going to happen, or has that ever really, like, people
Yeah.
fall back down. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Patricia down in Ohio State, they're like averaging holding teams to what, like 9 points or something like that on average.
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy. I mean, good for him. I can't be
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
One
after
thing I did want to talk about was the JMO factor. And,
Mm.
it seems like there's some fans are, I don't know if getting a little frustrated with him or obviously not seeing the big stats the last couple of games. But one thing it seems like to me is it seems like defenses are just taking him away, where they're just strictly trying not to give up the deep ball. They're making the Lions go underneath. That's why you're seeing Amon-Ra and Laporta, and then even the passes to Gibbs. And it seems like it's working because it forces the Lions to string a bunch of plays together and go on these 10-play drives, which then you just make one little mistake and it kills the drive, whereas the JMO play, you can end a drive in 2 or 3 plays. So I kind of feel like it's more just the defense and taking JMO away and forcing the Lions to dink and dunk. And so JMO's maybe being more of a decoy. So I'm not too worried about it yet. Hopefully he's not getting frustrated. But they're having to adjust because of that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I haven't really thought about it too much until you said that. I think he'll be good in the long run. Like I'm not worried at all either. But that's kind of what happens when you have so many weapons, and I feel like it's only a matter of time where you're gonna get, a game or 2 or 3 throughout the course of the season where he just goes off too and he makes big plays, and then everyone, to your point, they're gonna be hounding him the whole game, and that opens up other areas. So that's just part of the game. That's part of, how you strategize towards defenses. So yeah, love the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs one. He's like Gibbs. He just needs one play, So I'm not too worried. you do bring up a good point though with him getting frustrated. I hope he's not, that type of player. Receivers can be divas, I feel like. But everything I've heard from him, so far in his career is all team first. I just want to win. I'll do whatever it takes, but he's got high goals for himself. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, it all pans out here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's this updated standings. I've added in green, you can see last week, that's our lock scores. So every week we make a lock at the end of the episode, a guarantee that us as individuals believe is going to come out with a win. We wager points on it. So if you're correct, you can get up to 10 points based on your wager. If you're wrong, you get negative points. We were all correct last week. But as Zach mentioned in his intro, it's getting trickier because you can only use a team once a season. So we're starting to kind of whittle down in our options. We all choose different teams. Typically, sometimes there's some repeats, but it's definitely making things a little trickier as we're making our picks and planning for these shows here. But Matt, back on top, big, and Troy just 1 point behind in the total points.
And for the second week in a row, Matt broke the record for most points in a week. So 22 points. You broke your record from last week where you had 21. So you're on a heater.
See if I can break it again.
Yeah,
I don't know if that'll be possible with all the buys, but
yeah. And I wanted to point out our Hambonez locks. So I just looked because this past week we went 6-0. But I went through each week. So our first week we were 6-2, then we were 5-1, then we were 5-4, then we were 2-3. That's when a lot of the random upsets happened. But then we went 5-1, and then this past week 6-0. So, our locks are getting pretty good.
Yeah. The Hambone guarantees where we're all on the same team. That always makes me a little nervous, though, the way things have been going. But yeah, this is fun. The total points is fun. Overall records, weekly records, we're doing good. So last week was a good week for all of us collectively. That's pretty fun here. All right, let's dive in. I mentioned to you guys that I'm a teacher. Some of my students helped me pick the theme for this week. This week we are going with, it's kind of like I actually came up with this idea. My kids had a sleepover. We were watching like Godzilla and King Kong, like one of those new MonsterVerse new movies. So I think it's like kaiju, something like that, like big giant monsters sort of thing. So
I like it.
Thursday night, you got the Vikings, Minnesota Vikings going over to LA to take on the Chargers.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game, I think. Actually, right out the bat, we have uni alert. So we have the Chargers. We just talked about them, but kind of on the other side of the spectrum this week. So they're all Navy, basically. It's, kind of the uniforms of about 15, years ago. Think about Phillip Rivers and that era. So excited to see that again. I think they're even doing a little bit of the old school painting on the field. So that'll be fun to watch. Anyways, so getting into the game, I like the Chargers coming back and kind of getting right after the last few weeks. They've been up and down. Vikings, I just don't think I can trust them until they have a solid QB1. So I'm going to be on the Chargers this week.
Yeah. So I realized when I was going through these picks, I had it all wrong. I was calling the Panthers my cigarette team, but really the Panthers are more of like my guilty pleasure team, like a candy bar or ice cream. I realized the Chargers are my cigarette team because every week I pick the Chargers and I try to rationalize why I'm picking the Chargers, and they always screw me. And one of these days they're going to kill me. And I was looking at this week, and I said last week, if they lose, I'm not picking them again. And they lost. And so now I'm looking at this week. And I'm looking at the Vikings, and they have Wentz, and Wentz blows. It's Thursday night, and the Chargers are at home. And I'm like, you know what? One more week, I'll pick them.
Sure.
I can quit the Chargers next week, but just one more week. Give me the Chargers one more time. It's not going to kill me one more pick.
I can quit anytime, I swear.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I promise next week I will not pick the Chargers.
If they
Oh
lose.
gosh, I got to see who they play.
Oh man. Yeah, 3-3 Minnesota going to 4-3 Chargers. My notes here, I feel like they're similar teams almost. Like pretty similar defense. They're kind of in the middle. Brian Flores isn't as effective this year. I'm going because it makes me nervous. But Brian Flores could maybe come up with a good scheme against a beat up O line, Chargers O line. They might be getting alt back though. It sounds like. I'm going Chargers here. I feel like I've been kind of picking on them. I don't know if I've been going on and off of them a little bit more than you guys, but how can you not like Herbert over Wentz? At home, but it's a Thursday game. There's a Thursday game. Chargers are 3-point favorites. Zachary starting us off with the solo, the Z-Man. Vikings over Chargers. Chargers can't block.
Oh,
Carson Wentz, welcome to the washed list. So, I mean, it's a tough one. I feel like they're pretty similar teams here.
yeah, they are. Good defense. Well, maybe not Chargers. Last week their defense wasn't great, so
They should.
I don't know. I feel like their defense is kind of up and down as well, and Herbert's always prone to throw 3 or 4 picks, every few games. So who knows? And also, by the way, Troy, they play Tennessee next week, so might be one more week running with them.
Oh man.
Who don't tempt me.
All right, Miami Dolphins 1-6, going over to Atlanta, not too far. Atlanta is 7.5-point favorites here.
Yeah, no, I mean, number one, I do love that Miami Dolphins graphic there. That's pretty sweet. The only thing I'll say about this game is, Miami's hosed me too many times, and I just cannot pick them again until something big changes, whether that's a quarterback, whether that's a coach, whether that's a GM. I don't know. Like, I think they're washed, unfortunately. I do love Mike McDaniel, but it's just not working out in Miami. So give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm with you, Matt. I watched last week the Browns just smoked the Dolphins, and they ran all over the Dolphins. Now they have Bijan going up. He's gonna, I think, just have a monster game at home. Give me the Falcons.
Well, Troy, you took my words right out of my mouth. I mean, my blueprint, I locked the Browns last week because I knew the porous rush defense of the Dolphins just giving up, crazy yardage to Rico Dowdle and who else was it? Who was can't remember who else. Oh, can't remember. Anyway, they've been giving up a ton of rushing yards. And then Judkins has been great. He had a great game. I think he had 2 or 3 tutties too. Now you got Bijan, and the Falcons' defense is not too bad either. So I feel like it's just getting worse down in Miami. Although the owner kind of backed Mike McDaniels, right? Like he kind of came out and said that he's sticking with them or something, which is
that the kiss of death?
Perhaps. Zach is joining us. Falcons over Dolphins. Falcons have the ability to lose this game, but the Dolphins are done.
Yep, well said.
Ooh.
All right, New York Jets looking for their first win, 0-7, going over to Cincy, who's 3-4, coming off a win. Cincy, what are they? 6.5-point favorites is what I got.
Wow, that's a lot. The Jets are just. I feel so bad for Jets fans. We've been there. We've been the 0-16 team. We've been, down in the dumps for a number of reasons, and I truly feel bad for, the past. I mean, I don't know the last time they've been to the playoffs. Truthfully, Aaron Glenn, I still think he's, going to be able to right that ship at some point. Maybe it's in the next year or two, hopefully. But at this point, I just can't trust anything that they do. I don't even know if they've named a starter yet for next week. So even if the Bengals don't have Joe Burrow, they've got Flacco after a few weeks. He got a win last week. He just knows get it to Jamar Chase, and let's see what happens. So, and it's in Cincy, so give me the Bengals.
Yeah, speaking of owners talking about their teams, the Jets owner kind of dumping on Justin Fields. But yeah, Flacco looked good last week. He just did what he needed to do, just get it to Chase and kind of let the rest take care of itself. So, yeah, since he's at home, Flacco's not going to screw anything up. So I think the Bengals are a good pick here.
I know. I'd like to go Jets here. I would. I mean, the hope here though, they held Carolina to 13 and Denver to 13. So like maybe the defense is improving, you know. Aaron Glenn does have a very specific play style. We know he's all man. And it's just such a disaster though. Like we don't know the QB, like Matt said. And since he's kind of on the rise with the Flacco injection there, Sauce is also questionable. He's in concussion protocol. So it's like, who's guarding Chase and Higgins at that point? I can't. I would love to. I just can't do it. Zach's joining us. He's got to be done with the Jets. If the Bengals get to 17 points, it's over, he says. Man, Aaron Glenn, sorry, buddy. Because the Bengals, that 3 weeks ago, that was a beatable team, you know? You're probably looking at this game like, okay, we'll get on the board here. But how the turntables, as a great man once said. All right. Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns are 2-5, going to New England. Red hot New England 5-2. New England is a 7-point favorite.
I'll be honest. I had a tougher time than I thought I would with this game. I know we've talked about the Patriots kind of on the rise, which is, you know, not nice to see, but I respect what they're doing over there. And the Browns, I mean, you never know. Dylan Gabriel could be on the rise. You never know. And their defense is going to be their defense. If it was in Cleveland, I might give them a little bit better shot, but it's going to be in Gillette. Drake May's feeling good, and they don't have the hardest schedule in the world going forward. So I think their confidence has an all-time high. So I'm going to be on the Patriots this week.
Yeah. When I first looked at this game, instantly I was just like, okay, Patriots. But then I thought about it a little more. And, you know, the Patriots are going for their 5th win in a row. That's a rarity in the NFL. It's hard to just rip off a huge chunk of wins like that. Usually with all the teams being relatively close, you slip up once. But I still just can't pick against them. Kind of like you said, because they're at home. I don't really trust Gabriel yet, even though I really do like Judkins and that Browns defense. But I think New England with Drake May is the safer bet here.
I'm right there with you guys. I was so quick to pick New England. Drake May, I think, is like second now in the MVP running after Baker kind of dropped off, you know, this past weekend. But the defense had me thinking too, you know, like it's a strong defense. Drake May's still a little bit younger. However, the New England Patriots, they do have a pretty strong run defense. I think they can limit Judkins. Zach actually mentions it. We got our 3rd Hambonez guarantee in a row. He's going Patriots over Cleveland as well. And I think this is going to be a defensive battle. I think it could be a lot closer. I would take Cleveland, on that +7 spread there. Zach says Patriots are the 3rd best rush defense allowed per game at 77.1 yards per game. Maybe they hold Judkins in check. I feel like that's really all you got to do. Make Gabriel beat you. Christian Gonzalez is back. You know, he's a stud shutdown corner, big corner. Yeah, New England's a fun team as much as I was sick of their dynasty with Brady, but kind of easy to root for with the Vrabel, Drake May, kind of up and coming.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right. Feel like this is a little deja vu. We just had this one. New York
Yeah.
Giants coming off a crazy heartbreaking loss. They're 2-5. Like Zach said, they should be closer in the running into the playoffs here. And I don't know. That division's crazy too. Anyway, they're going over to Philly. 5-2 Eagles. Eagles are 7.5-point favorites. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
Whew.
Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, but
After
at the
just
same
getting
time, because New York beat them, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago?
Too.
yeah.
On I think that was Thursday Night Football. But
Hmm.
if Philly beat them back then, and this was, not a, let's think about that week and, let's, get right and in Philly, I might take the Giants, but I feel like Philly, they're feeling better after beating Minnesota that last week. They really want to prove to the Giants like that was a fluke, that was not the real us, and it's at home. So I just don't see the Eagles losing this one, losing 2 to the Giants. That'd be nuts. So give me the Eagles.
Yeah, it's wild that they're playing again, playing twice in 3 weeks. It seems like the NFL schedule makers wouldn't have done that, but I agree with you, Matt. I think this is 100% a revenge game. I just can't see the Eagles losing to their arch nemesis, who they are better than, twice in 3 weeks. So, especially at home.
Oh, man. There's no way they lose this one, right? I want to go Giants so bad. I was just talking to Alex, another shout out, back-to-back shout outs. We were texting a little bit. Oh man, it sucks that Malik. It would be cool to see Malik in this offense now with Dart and Scatterbo, sorry. I know I kept calling him Scatterbo. I don't know the right way. I think the media calls him Scatterbo, but yeah, I'm with the Eagles. I do with, how many are this? Is if Zach picks Philly, which this week I try not to look at his picks ahead of time, just to keep a little surprise factor in there, and so I don't have an edge really. I did see that he is going Philly. He badly wants to pick the Giants, hoping for a jinx. This is was his fourth Hambonez guarantee in a row. It's just like the odds, though. It's so hard to beat the same team twice, and it's 2 weeks apart. Division, Eagles are home. Eagles definitely have more talent. However, I just saw this pop up. AJ Brown's questionable with the hammy. I don't think he practiced today, or he was limited, one of the two. And I don't trust Philly.
Switch it?
No,
I mean,
I can't.
the
It
Giants,
just seems so unlikely.
have edge rushers, man. They could mess Jalen Hurts up. I might talk myself out of them.
Yeah. You know what, though? Both of these defense are like in the bottom third. They rank pretty similarly together. They're not the greatest defense. I'm good. I'm going to stay at. This is one I could have switched on, but I just don't see it happening. Yeah. Sorry. It's going to happen now. Because this was the one guarantee I think we all lost 2 weeks ago. It was like our only Hambonez guarantee that we've lost in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's our last Hambonez loss. Uh-oh.
They won't do it twice in a row to us.
It's locked.
Yeah.
It's locked. We got the Buffalo Bills 4-2 coming off a bye. They're pissed. They lost to Falcons. They're 7-point favorites on the road in Carolina, who is 4-3, playing good.
Yeah, this is an interesting game too, just because it feels like, Buffalo had a bye last week. The 2 weeks prior to that, they lost, and Carolina, I think they're 2-0 the last couple of weeks. They played great at home. The only reason I'm skeptical on the Panthers, and I do think Buffalo's the better team, obviously, but I think Bryce Young is questionable potentially for this week. I think he's got a high ankle sprain or something to that tune. So I think the Buffalo Bills, they've had a lot of time to think about it and to kind of get ready for this game. So I'm going to take Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo being a 7.5 point road favorite is pretty big. The Panthers are on a bit of a run, but those wins, were Miami, Dallas, and the Jets. I just don't see the Bills losing 3 games in a row, especially coming off a bye. And I did look up basically stats coming off a bye, and essentially teams are pretty good coming off a bye. And it was interesting that the really good teams, and this might sound stupid, but the really good teams are very successful coming off a bye. But even the bad teams are around 500 coming off a bye. And Buffalo specifically is the 5th best team all time after a bye. Their record is 32-16. So, yeah, for that reason, I got to go Buffalo. They're one of the best teams in the league. They're not going to lose 3 games in a row. They're going to come out of the bye rolling,
Clip it.
I think.
Clip it.
Oh boy. I mean, I've been Buffalo all week. I don't believe in the Panthers as much as you guys. Injury wise, Bryce Young was in a walking boot earlier this week. However, he was not in one today. He wasn't practicing, and he's pushing to play. Otherwise, it'd be Andy Dalton going in there. What's interesting though is Carolina's run game, their offensive line's been doing pretty well. You got Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. I don't know. I don't think I can talk myself into it. But Buffalo is a bottom 5 run grade wise defense. I'm going Buffalo here. I'm scared though, because Zach's also with us on Buffalo.
Is that
Bills
5?
over. What was that?
Is that 5 in a row?
5.
Bills
Yep.
over.
There's no way we're 5-0 in those, right?
Are we just going to lock every week, every game?
See, this is what I was a little nervous about going through the picks. Some of them just seem too easy. Like, okay, we're good on time. Like, what in the last 5 games, which is the least, or maybe I guess the most likely that we're wrong here? Like, what's the most likely upset of the last 5 that we just chose?
I'm thinking Cleveland, just because, and that's Cleveland at New England. I could see a game where Myles Garrett just goes and just wrecks everything, because he's had those games before where he's had like 4 sacks and 2 strips, and that's the only reason I think that Cleveland game, because he has the ability to just win a game single-handedly.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I feel like, and that's a division matchup, right? AFC. Was that North?
No, Patriots are East, but both AFC.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see that one happening for sure. But
yeah, I think that's going to be a close game. I do think that. I don't know. Maybe the Jets get their first win somehow. Although we don't know who's quarterback. Garrett Wilson might not even be back. Never mind. Okay, scratch that. Let's move on. Forget I said that. Clip that out, video guy. Chicago Bears 4-2. They're big dogs here. Baltimore 1-5 coming off a bye, 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I think I'm back and forth a few times on this game, and I'm gonna be curious to hear your thoughts on this game, because I might flip-flop again at the end of our conversation. I wish I knew if Lamar was playing or not. I know he's back practicing this week. It sounded like he was still taking reps behind like Cooper Rush and I forget who else. So I don't feel awesome about that, even though I think they have a great defense, even though it's going to be in Baltimore. Chicago Bears, they're coming off a bye, if I remember that correctly. and they've won 4 in a row. And until Lamar comes back, I just do not like what I've seen out of them. Like, I just don't know what they are without Lamar. It's like he's been dragging these teams, around the last few years, which I know it's not true. It's, they're a really good team. They just have not, I didn't think there would be that much of a drop off when Lamar left, but that's what we've seen. So, um, I'm gonna go Bears. I don't know. I could flip flop in a minute or two.
So I don't know if it'll change your pick, but the Bears did play last week. They were my lock. That's
That's
why
right.
I remembered that. And yeah, because last week the only buys were Buffalo and Baltimore. But yeah, how was Baltimore 1-5? That just seems whack. But obviously Lamar being injured affects that. The Bears are an up and coming team, but I just can't see them quite being ready to win 5 in a row yet. Baltimore actually coming off a bye is even better than Buffalo. They're the third best team all time coming off a bye. I'm kind of banking on Lamar Jackson playing just because if not now, when? Like if he doesn't play and they lose, then it's tank time. So I kind of feel like you got to play him. You got to make a run here to try and win 2 or 3 in a row and get back into this. One stat to kind of watch for: Derrick Henry's 138 yards away from 12,000 career yards.
Wow.
So that's doable. He's definitely had games like that plenty of time. So yeah, I'm going Baltimore in this one at home. Bears aren't ready to win 5 in a row yet.
Did you say
Yeah,
how many?
point.
138?
138, yep.
The Bears are averaging giving up 137 rushing yards per game. They're the 28th worst. That's why for me, I'm like Henry game, because we don't know Lamar. He was limited today. He did practice today, but don't know the extent of that. Another kind of concerning. See, I think that was a hammy too, right? Kyle Hamilton, stud safety, unicorn, also limited with a groin. He's been kind of battling injury all year, I think, kind of on and off. They don't have him either, in the back of their D. It makes me really nervous. I was shocked to see Chicago being that big of a dog, underdog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swift, I can't believe he's balling out too. I feel like I'm kind of biased against him when he was at Philly. Like, oh yeah, like that's just because they had a good line. And I think the Bears all line here is actually decent, but I mean, good for him having kind of a resurgence too. I thought he was going to be kind of done soon, backup material. All that to say, I'm going Ravens here, more for hopium. I think I definitely could see the Bears winning this one. They are hot. I don't believe in them. Just I feel like their wins have been messy, but they're probably more talented because this Baltimore defense has been so bad. They could have a field day. So be interesting to see. I hope Lamar's back, but then even if he is, he's going to be limited. Like it's a hammy he's coming from. So like, not going to be running around too much, I think. Although, like you said, Troy, it's make it or break it time for them. They don't win this one, they're toast. They're done.
Yeah.
Zach's on the Ravens as well. No idea if Lamar plays. Ravens at home, backs against the wall, he says. So
I feel better about my Bears pick now. Going solo.
you've been good with solos, honestly.
Like, yeah, again, I think Lamar Jackson makes a huge difference. But yeah, I will be officially afraid of the Bears if and when they go in there and beat them. If Lamar's playing, I guess I'll put that caveat in there. If
The
they beat
Bears
him without
defense,
Lamar, it's
yeah. The Bears defense, they're getting turnovers. That's the big thing. I don't
Yeah.
know where they stand. I think they're towards the top of the league in turnovers or takeaways. So that could be a big factor here. Their defense is keeping them in it. Their offense is just Caleb is just he's like taking too much time. He's making mistakes. He's not as accurate as I thought he'd be. I have him in a super flex dynasty. So I'm like kind of waiting, like, oops. I actually had the first and fourth. I got Malik also in that. I have a crazy team in that league. So all right. San Francisco 49ers, 5-2 somehow. Going on the road to Houston, going east, 2-4. Houston is 1.5-point favorites despite the records.
Yeah, it's going to be another game where I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored. I don't know, like the 49ers, they've been the team that I've kind of been riding a little bit lately. Ever since I think it was the Rams, they beat on Thursday night a few weeks ago. So, yeah, they've been surprisingly good. I mean, with all the injuries, but Houston Texans, like, I don't know what to make of them either. So, like, they have not been able to score, much at all. I mean, their defense is still great, but I don't know if CJ Stroud's even, the real deal anymore. So this game again, I'm kind of going back and forth. I think I might I'm with the 49ers right now. I could be swayed. I think I'm going to stick with them just because I think they've been more consistent this year. I just don't think I can trust Houston right now.
Yeah, 49ers remind me a little of the Lions last year, where all these injuries happen and you're kind of just waiting for the wheels to fall off and they just keep it going. And I think it's a testament to just being a really well-coached team, just like Detroit was last year. So, you keep thinking they can't just keep this going, but when you are so well-coached, when you have that winning culture, um, that kind of carries you through. And yeah, I can't trust Houston. I'd like to add a player to Zach's watch list, and I'll add CJ Stroud to it. So I'm going San Francisco. I can't trust Houston. I don't honestly think Stroud's very good. So give me the 49ers.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip my turn. Zach's on the Niners. He had a funny note, or he says Niners over Texans. Why is the Texans offense so bad? This is in parentheses. I don't know if I should read it, but I'm going to anyway. Clear out for Troy and let him cook CJ. So you already beat me to that, but I thought I'd read that. I'm on the Niners as well. I mean, same. It's just like, what is Houston? O-line was already one of the worst, and you trade away, was it Laramie Tunzel, the gas mask during the draft? Remember his draft stock?
Yeah.
But he's an excellent player, and they just ship him off. It's like, what? And then CJ, I think Collins, I don't know. I this is just from memory. I think he might be questionable with the concussion. I don't know if that was him or it was a different player I'm thinking of.
He's definitely hurt. I can't remember what it was.
I think, I don't know exactly what, but I thought there was a question mark with him. I have that in my notes. San Francisco's just too good. I mean, with all the injuries, Kittle's back. He didn't have a huge game, but like you saw him in the run game. He's blocking his ass off. He's a leader on the field. I think it's Mac Jones again. I don't know if it matters at this point. Mac Jones and Purdy almost seem interchangeable a little bit. I think we'll all ride San Francisco. There was a time where I wasn't believing in them due to the injuries, but they proved me wrong, and I jumped on, I think, last week, and it's like against this kind of team too. Texans defense is legit now.
I know.
But their O-line, San Francisco D-line, they might eat up a little bit.
And how about McCaffrey staying healthy too? He actually leads the NFL in carries, which kind of blew me away. It seems like the last few years he's been so injury prone, but he's been a workhorse.
I mean, I feel like everything's revolving around him.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really thinking about flopping, but I don't know. Yeah, I just can't trust CJ.
How many guarantees is this now? Who does count? Is this fifth or
Five.
sixth?
It's got. I think it's 6.
Six. Ooh. We're all together this week. We're thinking.
Ugh.
I think it's like that though. There's only a hand. There's there's how many 6 teams on by. Only a
Yeah.
handful of games that are really kind of ticky tack. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off that bad loss in Detroit with the questionable calls. No, come on. That was we beat them. We were the better team. 5-2 Tampa. They're 4.5 favorites going to a division opponent down in Nolens, I think it's pronounced, who are 1-6. Scrappy team. Maybe not the most talented, but they put up a fight.
Yeah, I actually could see the Saints kind of, maybe getting in a shootout with them, especially you have Mike Evans out. He's, I hate to see him go down. He's been so good for so long, with 1,000 yards. I don't know for how many years now, and you hate to see something like that come to an end. So, a lot of love to him. So I don't know, like Ibuka's back, so I think they'll be okay offensively. Um, but I think Tampa and Baker, they're going to be looking to get back, looking to get right after what happened in Detroit. So I think the Buccaneers let them have it. I think it'll be a close one though. I think the Saints will kind of keep with them. I don't know what the line is in right now. Yeah, I mean Tampa's only a 3.5 point favorite, so I do see it being somewhat close.
I like this graphic. This reminds me of Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. Both of these kind of together fit really well. Yeah, it's such a bummer with Mike Evans. Right when I saw it, it looked like he got knocked out, and it kind of was like, it sounds like that's what happened with the concussion and then the collarbone. And I hope he can. I don't know if he'll come back. I hope he can come back for a couple games because he's 176 yards away from 13,000 career yards. So you mentioned how many years in a row he's gotten 1,000. It's really impressive, and it sucks to see that happen to him. But yeah, I think it's a get right game for Tampa Bay. I think their offense had been rolling, and really the Lions shut them down. And Baker's better than that. He really wasn't seeing the field very well Monday night. So I think Tampa Bay is going to get back on track, get their offense going, and score some points.
Yeah, that Mike Evans, I know we keep talking about the injury. Kate saw me, I was like pretty distraught. I was just like visibly just like, oh no, no. Like, I respect the player. I've had him on my fantasy team all the time. Hate seeing that. Like he's the rich history of the 1,000-yard seasons and seems like a good teammate. Everything just I love the dude, respect him. So that was hard watching him go down. I was kind of explaining that to her. She's like, why are you so sad about the other guy going down? Yeah, Baker bounced back. I think this could be, a sneaky game for the Saints, but I mean, Tampa's a great team, and the Saints don't have Hutch. I mean, that dude, they had like 3 guys on him often. I think there was a couple plays where he had to go through 4. Like, you're drawing that much attention.
Running back and the tight end were chipping them, which takes 2 guys out of the routes. So that's what helped the Lions defend all those receivers was 2 guys had to block Hutch.
And wow, I mean, Tyler Williams, what's his first name, our rookie?
Tyleek.
Tyleek, okay. He's been great, and DJ Reader, but having a lean back, you can visibly notice the inside of the line just pushing it, making it that much easier. Zach's notes are Bucks over Saints. So
Another Hambonez
oh
lock.
shoot, another lock.
Jeez.
Another lock. Whew.
Ooh.
Oh, so
I like that. Sorry.
I had I should have mentioned this. I guess I could have done this at the beginning here. And there's like a theme within the theme, like all the North, all the East teams, all the West, and all the South. They have like different themes that just try to layer it a little bit. I'll give one away. It's probably the most obvious. All the North teams, AFC and NFC, are like snowy tundra type vibes. And then I was like, maybe our viewers can kind of analyze it and let me know what you think down in the comments down below, what the other themes might be. But yeah, I like that. That Dallas one's pretty solid. Sorry, Matt, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, no, this is going to be, I think, more of an interesting game than maybe it looks to be. I think a lot of people are high in Denver. They got a great defense, but gosh, what a crazy game last week. I unfortunately didn't watch it. Hopefully I'll get to watch just that fourth quarter just in general at some point over the next couple weeks. But yeah, I mean, Denver's looking good, I guess. Like their wins have been interesting. But the Cowboys, like they're coming out and I don't want to say nowhere because Dak Prescott, he's the longest tenured quarterback in the league. Their offense, they got CD Lamb back and he's looking like he hasn't taken any time off. So and gosh, what's his name? Pickens. Their offense has kind of been looking great lately. So I'm going to take the Cowboys. I know I'm going to regret it come next week. I think Denver might be coming off of that crazy win, coming off that high, and unfortunately might be a letdown game for them. I think it'll be high scoring for I don't know what reason. I know Denver has a really good defense, so just a feel type thing. So give me Dallas.
Yeah, so last week a wise man talked about how the Cowboys seem like they're a different team at home versus the road. And they're 1-3 on the road. Denver's 3-0 at home. So yeah, Dallas being the road team, I think they're going to go back to being bad Dallas. The over under is 51.5, which, like you said, Matt, I think you just slammed the over. It's going to be a shootout, but I like Denver at home, that home field advantage, mile high. Cowboys road team equals bad. So give me Denver.
Oh man. Whew. Well, this is crazy because I feel like I referred to this last week too. I have a gut pick and then I think about it and overanalyze it. My gut was telling me Cowboys, but then I'm like, there's just no way. Like Bo Nix, like the problem with Denver is their offense is inconsistent. And the play calling, they just throw a lot of like little dinky screens, is what it seems like. What the bits I've watched, right? But it's the Dallas defense. They're the worst in the league, like the offense, Denver offense should be right. And if anyone can stop Dak and the star wideouts, it could be, Passertan and this Denver has a killer rush. So like my brain's telling me Denver, my gut's telling me Dallas. I had Denver circled all week. Today I'm like, no, I'm going with my gut. I'm going Dallas. And then like hearing those stats, I'm just like, it's going, I don't know. I'm still like talking in my head. I'm looking at my notes. Denver, all they got to do is just pound the rock, keep it out of Dak's hands, keep it cold. You can run on the Cowboys, but I'm going Cowboys. I'm going with my gut. That's what I decided today. I'll stick with it. Man, that seems wild to me. Don't know. But it's fun. Zach's on the Broncos. Broncos over Cowboys. Denver, home field advantage. So similar to you, Troy.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I've not been doing my job here. So, Uni alert number 2.
Okay.
And this is going to sway my pick, unfortunately. Denver Broncos.
Oh,
throwbacks to 1977. Call it the Orange Crush. Call it whatever you want. Some of the cleanest throwbacks in the game, honestly. Like, it's orange. It's that light blue helmet with the D and the horse coming out of it. White pants. This should be their look all the time, but which might, underappreciate it, but it's going to look so good. I'm sorry. I'm flipping to Denver for that one.
Oh, man. Good catch. I'll stay just for the fun of it. But now I'm not feeling good at all. I don't want to go solo with the Cowboys, riding solo. Yikes. That sounds so gross. They're about to get smoked. Um,
You even got the orange hair on the graphic. It's perfect.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I didn't know what to do. I feel like I do the horses all the time. So I was like, whatever. I was doing kind of one of the themes is more like a mythical type beast type of thing, the theme within the themes. And I was like, give them a bow and arrow because bow neck. So a little nod there.
Nice.
All right. Moving on. Tennessee Titans. Oops, there's an extra S. I didn't even what look at this little extra S. Okay. My bad.
Should be like a little Easter egg in the video that
Yeah.
people can find.
Oh no, that's
Good
funny.
stuff.
Tennessee
Good.
Titans, what do we got? 1-6, 14-point underdogs. Indy is favored 14 points to a division opponent in week 8. Who would have guessed? 6-1 Indy, the best record in the league at home. How we feeling?
Yeah, this was you look at this matchup 2-3 months ago and you're like, oh, two stinkers of teams. But gosh, the Colts, I just respect the heck out of what they're doing right now. And Daniel Dimes, I mean, he continues to show up. They continue to score points. There's no way that the Titans come into Indianapolis and beat them. Give me the Colts all day long. Oh, one more thing, and I was going to pull this up here, and I should have mentioned this in our kind of week 7 recap. So looking at the standings in the AFC right now, you have the Colts on top, 6-1, 1 seed. Number 2, New England, which that's just a throwback to 20, 25 years ago when it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning going back and forth. That brought back a few memories. So just crazy to see the standings like that. We'll see how long it stays like that. But yeah, just kind of cool to see those teams back doing what they're doing.
Nice.
Yeah, 14.5-point favorites. I looked up that to see how many times that's happened. So there's been 155 games in NFL history where there's basically been a 14-point favorite. The favored team is 149-6 all time. Now, ironically, one of the last times that the favorite team has lost was in 2021. If you remember, the Colts were a 15-point favorite over Jacksonville, and they needed that win to make the playoffs, and they lost.
Oh, wow.
So Indy actually has some bad juju with being a big favorite. But with that said, I'm not going to assume that happens again. I'm going to Colts.
You had me for a minute there. I was like, well. But yeah, then I remembered who they were playing.
Yeah.
Indy's a complete team. I like their D line, kind of up and coming. Lautu, and DeForest Buckner are wrecking shop. Gonna get after Cam Ward here. They're good at play action. Tennessee's bad against it. Tennessee's probably bad against everything. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he could even be in the MVP running right now, let alone the quarterback here, resurgence. And I'll let Zach take that away here because he has a mention of that. Zach's going Colts. He says Indiana Jones for MVP, ? Might be inevitable if the Colts are the number 1 seed at the end of the year. Like, could you imagine Daniel Jones winning MVP?
Yeah,
That would be.
So speaking of Daniel Jones too, Minnesota let him go. Not that he really played for them, and let Sam Darnold go as well, and he's doing just fine, pretty solid out there in Seattle. And now they're not terrible, but they could really use a solid quarterback right now. And gosh, I wonder if O'Connell would go back in time right now and take one of those guys.
Yeah. Do you think Daniel Jones is this a flash in the pan, or is this Baker 2.0 where he kind of bounces around and finds the right team and now he's the guy?
He hasn't shown me otherwise the last 2 months, so I gotta say he's the guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to look at the rosters and the years when he first started. It takes a while to kind of, some players to get that experience, but it's like this might be one of the best rosters he's been a part of too, front to back. So it's hard to say. That is hard to say, like given this opportunity, he's crushing it right now.
Yeah,
Um,
the only thing I'll say about Indy, and again, you play who's in front of you. They've beaten Miami, Denver, they're good, but they beat them by 1. They beaten Tennessee, Las Vegas, Arizona, and the Chargers. So again, you play who you
yeah,
play, but we'll see what happens over the next, month or two.
that's true. Good point. Good point. This could be a little regression here once they play some different teams. I think you got a good point there. Zach also points out that the Colts are averaging 33.1 points per game, and the Titans' highest score all season is 22 points. So we're feeling good with this Hambonez guarantee.
Ooh.
Woo-hoo, Green Bay. Oh man, Sunday night. This is the Sunday night
Is this
game.
Sunday night? Oh,
Yeah.
4-1-1. Green Bay Packers on top of the North. They're 3-point favorites going into Pittsburgh, who's 4-2, coming off that loss.
I'm still not sure who I'm picking, but so Uni Alert number 3, my least favorite, I think, out of everything that we've talked about. So starting with Pittsburgh, so they're calling this Steel City Legacy, established 1933. So you can only imagine how good these are going to look. So I'll kind of explain it to you. Yellow helmets, yeah, and then the jersey itself is yellow with like some black stripes in the front. And then you've got like these tan-ish pants and then yellow socks. So it's not a great look in my opinion. They kind of work for Pittsburgh. They're just kind of yellow, black, blah. We'll see how they look on television. Maybe they'll pop, who knows. But on the other side, you have Green Bay also kicking it to some alternates. They're going to be all white. So it's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be I
Whoa.
don't like their whites, all whites, even the white helmet. And I just don't like what I'm seeing in this picture for Pittsburgh, unfortunately. Um I don't really, X's and O's, who cares? That's a crazy uniform matchup. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I'm hoping can I pick both to lose? I might get swayed depending on what Jordan and Zach say here. It is a Rodgers revenge game. That was one thing I was taking into account. Rodgers has been playing well. It's his first game against Green Bay. Maybe he conjures up some magic. The Packers have looked a little shaky. I watched the entire Green Bay Arizona game, and Jacoby Brissett was moving the ball kind of at will against them. I feel like if I pick Pittsburgh, it's just my Lions fandom making me pick something dumb. So I'm gonna pick Green Bay. Almost maybe hedging, hoping I get it wrong. I just think they're better than Pittsburgh, but Rodgers at home against the revenge. I don't know. I've been flip flopping on this one.
Yeah, this is the only game that I didn't have like an initial highlight or circle. I'm right there with you guys. I'm torn, dude. Green Bay's the smart pick, and with my Cowboy solo pick here, I'm probably not going to have the best record this week, unlike last week. Woo. But damn it, I said I was going to do it. If anyone can conjure some magic, it's that freaking weird Aaron Rodgers off some sort of darkness retreat. Just for no reason at all, just getting back at his old, team that left him in the dust, moved on for the QB they drafted and had sit behind him for like 2 or 3 years. But with that said, Rodgers has been playing pretty good the past few weeks. He started off slow. I mean, the Green Bay defensive line against a Pittsburgh offensive line, that might be a disaster. That's where Green Bay has the advantage for sure. But the Pittsburgh defensive line, I'm not a huge believer in Love. I know he's amazing at times, like he's elite at times, but if you can get him flustered, get some pressure on that kid. Josh Jacobs is still a little questionable. I think he's fine, but he's dealing with a calf injury or something. Um, I think overall it's going to come down to the Pittsburgh D line. If they can stop, hold Jacobs a little bit in check because he's a great back. There's no way you're stopping him, and you can, get Love a little flustered. I think that's your key. I think Rodgers will be able to move the ball. He's going to be dropping dimes. It's his old team, but I don't know. Remember, I forgot about the jerseys, Matt. And I think I could almost get on board with it, but those pants killed it. I think I saw something on X, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what? Like these people, who's in charge of these ideas? Like, come on. It's
Yeah. Like,
ridiculous.
I don't know. It looks, I don't, it just not a good look. I would be more of a fan if Green Bay had throwbacks. I know a few years ago they did like, I think it was like almost like a blue and like a yellow, or maybe it was like a blue and a, yeah, I don't know. But they had some crazy uniforms that looked terrible, and you know, just go all out if we're gonna have one of these games where we have some ugly uniforms.
Yeah, I think that one might be coming up too. I think we mentioned they have their own
Yeah.
1933.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They
I
should
thought,
have
yeah,
both worn them.
Yeah.
I know. Why would, yeah, that's strange. Maybe they
Yeah.
don't want to take it from each other or something. Or
Yeah.
Zach's on the Packers, making me feel worse, going solo the Steelers. Oh man, what am I doing? I feel like this is
I'm
last week all over
You know
again.
what?
I knew which picks were wrong, and I still
Oh
made them.
Switch me.
What?
Switch me.
Oh man.
You convinced me, Jordan. I think I'm going with the Rodgers voodoo against his old team. I can just see it coming down to the end and him pulling something out of you know where, and I don't know. I'm
Thank
gonna go
you.
Pittsburgh with you.
Okay. All right. I feel a little
I
better
I
now.
was very close, and I'm not gonna jump on, but I was very close.
It's a fandom pick for sure. Like screw Packers.
Yeah.
I like, oh, when we
Yeah. This
lock
is
on
a
it, I'm like, oh, we'll jinx them. You know what? They keep pulling up. They're the luckiest franchise, luckiest fans. They're so lucky this year. Like
yeah.
they
You
should have
know,
lost to Dallas. They could have lost to Flacco. They weren't that impressive against the Bengals there. Oh, they did
they did
lose
lose
to
to
Flacco.
Flacco
That's
3 weeks
right.
before that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So the one thing you mentioned it, Jordan, and I know it's getting late, and I've got these weird thoughts, but the Packers, it's so funny because every time they have an off game early on in the season, everyone's like, "Oh, they're just figuring it out. They're great. They're great." And their offense, they're going to find it, right? And whenever not just Detroit, but other teams have an off week, like even the Bills, I think everyone's like, "Ooh, can't trust them." See what they did there. So it's just interesting the way the media portrays different teams week to week, just given their most recent performance. Whereas it feels like no one's ever down on Green Bay. I mean, I get it; they're a good team, they are, but it's just interesting how that you know is seen.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to spend too much time here, but I'm looking at their schedule and I'm right there. They have talent. There's no doubt. They probably are a contending playoff team. Their best win was against us, and we were not ready. Obviously, we were totally a shell of ourselves. That Washington win now isn't looking that impressive. Jaden Daniels in year two, Washington defense, it's not looking pretty. Cleveland, they lost to Cleveland, a terrible Cleveland team. Well, whatever. However, and then they tied Dallas, right? 40-40 tie. Okay. In a Parsons revenge game. Cincinnati, they never dominated. They won it pretty comfortably, I suppose. But then they should have lost to Cardinals last week too, which are not a great
Mhm.
team record-wise, at least. So maybe there's hope. They got Pittsburgh, Carolina, Philly, Giants. The next four, they already had their bye. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. Oh, Zach, I wanted Mike. Sorry, Mike Tomlin is 7-2. off of a Thursday night loss, and then he says, "Frickin' please, Steelers," with a praying emoji. Had to fit that in there. This one should be, I don't know. I'll hold my tongue. Sorry. Let's see. Washington 3-4, coming off that butt whooping from Dallas. They are 12.5-point dogs in Kansas City. Monday night, Daniels, I think, is out for sure or likely out.
I think he is out. I think they confirmed that today. So, yeah, I don't have a ton to say about this game. They're back. They're the Chiefs. It's in Kansas City. Marcus Mariota, I think he's a good quality quarterback. He's backing up Jaden Daniels. Washington doesn't have the magic that they seemed to have last year. I just don't see Kansas City losing on Monday night.
Yeah, Washington's struggling. Kansas City's humming. They're kind of getting right. Not much else to say other than going with the Chiefs.
Really dislike the Chiefs right now. Commanders, I mean, are they like Houston, where you have the rookie, QB phenom riding high, pretty good coaches, right? Good coaching, scrappy team, but then now we're starting to see them fizzle out. Like, are some teams just going to be like that, where they get, a magical burst with a new quarterback or a rookie quarterback or something, and then the next year everyone expects them to be this playoff team and they're just not? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into their recent losses that have been pretty ugly, but it's not looking great.
Yeah. I was listening to Pardon My Take from Barstool, and I know PFT, he's a big Washington Commanders guy, and he said the success of last year kind of screwed over their rebuild, where now they're kind of going all in with Jane Daniels, whereas probably the smarter move would have been, building the defense, building the lines up, and where they, got Debo Samuel, and that wasn't the smartest move long term. So not that I know all the details of their roster, but we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out for them. Obviously, Jaden Daniels, he's a great quarterback, but hopefully he's not injury ridden over the course of his career, because I think he is fun to watch, even though he did beat us last year. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, that wraps up the slate of games for week 8. We have 6 teams on bye, which stinks because I really liked a few of these graphics here. The Seattle, Sonic, I said the Seattle Sonic Tower, the Space Needle in the background. That's a big throwback. Lions, that's a pretty solid one. I love my Raiders, of course. That's a fun graphic too.
I like the Raiders, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Detroit in the background there. That looks good.
Obviously, probably, biased, but probably the best timing for Detroit to have a bye.
I will enjoy it.
Although I will say Seahawks are a little banged up too. Their secondary was still struggling with injuries. They were able to get a couple more wins still with those injuries, so good for them. I feel like week 8 bye, that's a solid week. I'm happy with that. Here's the fun part. Here is the fun part. And now I'm thinking, like, I guess it is probably harder to go first. Is it harder to go first or last when picking locks?
I don't know. I'm even like trying to figure out who I'm locking right now, because I'm going between a couple teams. So so give me the Eagles. Give me 8 points. I was going between them and another team. I won't say it, but I feel like I'll have more opportunities with the other team. But Eagles, I just feel really comfortable with them at home, with them, in a revenge game against the Giants. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Well, I'm going to go with Atlanta over the Dolphins, and I'm going to go with 8 points as well.
Troy, I keep getting sniped.
You can pick them.
I know. I like the diversity of picking different things. Damn, that's crazy. I do have a backup, but it's gonna change. I've gone ahead a few weeks to like try and plan it out because it's insane. It's a crazy complex things. Audience, remember, we can't pick the same team twice in a year, so we're really trying to figure out who to pick early. I liked Atlanta. Oh, shoot. I should stick to my plan. All right, I'll do it. I was gonna switch it to an obvious one, and I'll be honest, I had 7. I won't copy your guys' 8, so I'll stick to my 7. I probably need points looking at some of my picks. Maybe I'm just like a big critic of myself. Oh boy, let me see that. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna put a score first. You already know. You guys want to guess
Does
this
Zach
one?
know he doesn't have to do 10?
I should probably text him. This guy, he's going the Colts
Yep.
over the Tennessee.
Yep.
He's got some work to catch up
smart.
a little bit after losing that 10 with Philly last time they went against the Giants, Matt.
Yeah, I was very close to picking Indy as well, but I feel like in that division, I feel like I'll have another opportunity to pick Indy. So that's the only reason I kept with Philly.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, these locks are getting tricky. They definitely are. Another one I was considering was I was going to go big on KC. I feel like I should save them for later though. For me, I think my problem is I've been going too low with some of these. Like it was nice to get a Cleveland. They're like a bottom 5 team, and I snuck that one out. I was confident, but that could have gone either way. So, but my problem is I'm not wagering enough. Like audience, a little sneak peek behind the scenes. We're chatting on how do we improve, this system a little bit next year. So we'll see if the scoring changes a little bit. Just to make it even spicier. This is already fun. I don't think I haven't seen anybody do stuff like this. So yeah, another great week. I'm excited for football. Lions, sad to not see them play, but also it's nice not to have the stress.
Yeah. I'm excited for tomorrow night. Get to hate watch the Vikings a little bit. I love the Chargers jerseys, so that'll be fun. And then Sunday, just relax and hope for some magic on Sunday night from Aaron.
What are the chances that the Chargers, the Ravens, and Pittsburgh all win? All against the NFC North. How great of a bye week would that be?
Oh my gosh.
Decent.
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance. Yeah. I mean,
read it again. What is it?
So Pittsburgh over Green Bay would have to be. Tomorrow night, you got the Chargers over the Vikings, which very, very possible, right?
That's possible.
And then Baltimore and Chicago. So
that'd be great. That'd be very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us again. We got a Halloween theme coming at you next week, so get ready for that. That's been a popular one. I've been giving some sneak peeks to some students and to some family members and stuff, so that'll be a fun one. We hit 20 subs. Let's go. Keep it going. If you're watching this video, just hit that button. It really helps us out creating and bringing more content to you. I don't know. That's just what YouTubers said. It's not really helping us yet, but someday.
Follow us on socials at the Hambonez Pickems. Actually, there's no the at Hambonez Pickems. Follow us, X, the Everything app, Instagram.
Let's go.
See ya.
Yeah. It's the Hambonez show. You know how we roll. Troy with the numbers. Man in the zone. JMO got the graphics. Let's go. Step in the booth. This a Hambonez vibe. Every week we alive. Football talking worldwide. Troy got the stats breaking down like a pro. Matt got the uniforms dripping head to toe. JMO won the visuals fresh like the paint. We the triple threat. Ain't no way we ain't Hambonez. We running the game never alone. But bones, that's the style that we bone. Hambonez, we running the game. game, never alone. Talking football, stats and style right from the throne. Fast beat, fast life, every week we ignite. Hambone, drones, Hambones, yeah, we do it right. Troy spitting numbers, got the facts on lock. Matt breaking down jerseys, every thread, every sock. JMO with the graphics, got the highlights popping. We the team you tune in when the action ain't stopping. From the field to the mic, we bringing the heat. Hambones on the rise, can't accept defeat. Hambones, we running the game, never alone. Talking football, stats and style right from the throne. Fast beat, fast life, every week we ignite. Hambones, yeah, we do it right. So tune in, Hambones every week, don't miss. With Troy, Matt, and JMO, we bringing the blitz. Football, fashion, graphics, we got it all. Hambones on the beat, we forever stand tall.